Games begins at 2 Eastern, and you can stream it all on the Fox Sports app. Time for our final topic of the day. LaMelo Ball headed to Australia. The 17-year-old announced yesterday he'll play in the Australian National Basketball League. LaMelo signed a 2-year deal. Season starts in October. LaMelo says, "My goal is to be the next top pick in next year's draft, and I feel they can help me reach that goal." Shannon, how does this one play out for LaMelo?
Well, LaMelo didn't have a whole lot of options. Going to college was not an option because of the box that his dad boxed him into, Skip. So that wasn't an option. Now, we've seen this before. Brandon Jennings was the #1 high school recruit. He went overseas. He come back in the 2009 draft. He's the 10th pick. Emmanuel Mudiay, he was the second prospect out of high school. He went to China in 2015. He was the 7th pick in the draft. So this is not unprecedented. He's going to have to improve a lot. It's just hard, Skip, out of sight, out of mind. They're going to be college players that's going to get more of an in-depth look. I hope it works out well for him, but I don't care what his dad says. This is not how his dad drew it up, Skip. His dad made some decisions that put his son in this predicament, and this is the avenue. This is the road that they got to travel down in order to get to their final destination.
Well, it's a long road.
It is.
It's a long, hard road. Lithuania, now Australia.
Right.
LeVar has always told me his youngest would be his best. So if Lonzo's going to be in the Hall of Fame, I guess this kid's going to be the GOAT. I don't know, right? I don't know. But I do, when we've met this kid, he is going to be the tallest. He's only 17 now. He could wind up, LeVar always predicts, 6'9"-ish, and I think he's going to be in that ballpark.
Okay.
So he's obviously more scoring skilled than his older brother, Lonzo.
Right.
And than his middle brother, obviously. So I think he has a chance to be really good. And the one thing I do like about this, and I'm intrigued to see how it all plays out, some of the AAU babies, as they're called, they do get spoiled. And to a degree, he's been spoiled. He's got the great car already. Didn't he get a Lamborghini? But again, when you get shipped to Lithuania, and now you got to go spend a year in Australia, I think it's going to toughen him up. So he won't play the big stage Duke-style college games with that kind of pressure. But when he comes back, I think he'll be grown up. Yeah. I think he'll be a man. He'll have been away from his dad.
For the most part, that's what he's going to be competing against. Other grown men. These guys have been over there 3, 4, 5, 6, some of them 8, 9, 10 years. So that's what he's going to be competing against, Skip. The kid should have been allowed to go to college.
Oh, I know.
His dad ruined that.
He'll regret what he missed.
Yes.
He should have been allowed to go to high school.
Well,
right? He missed his last 2 years of high school.
Well, parents shouldn't be allowed to control the situation, and his dad couldn't control the coaches, so he pulled him.
Great insights, gentlemen. Thank you so much, and thank you for joining us. That's it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. Full day of Women's World Cup action starts now. Undisputed. Our thanks, everyone, and even showed off a little personality. Take a listen.
This group of guys let me do what I do on the floor. Coach Nick let me do what I do. And now we got a championship. Thank you. And like they said, enjoy this moment, and have fun with it. Aha, 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 aha.
Laughing at
Rob Parker still hanging with
Laughing
us
at the
this
Spurs.
morning. Rob, what you got? Where does Kawhi end up in free agency?
I think Kawhi is going to wind up right here in Los Angeles with the Clippers. I think he could very easily be like the Lone Ranger. My work is done here in Toronto, and he can move on to the next spot. And people in Toronto won't be mad at him. He did what he delivered.
Oh, they're gonna be big.
No, they could be all right with it, all right? Because he got it done. And here's the thing. If you're Kawhi Leonard, what would be at stake when you talk about your basketball career? He's already won 2 championships, already has 2 finals MVP. If he can join the Clippers, come here, and do what he just did in Toronto with the group of guys that they had, and I saw them last year. Doc Rivers did a great job coaching. They got a lot of dogs on that team that'll go after it. I love Patrick Beverly.
So do I.
Lou Williams, all that. I love what they have. Jerry West is there, owner with big pockets. You're in a big market. It's not like, I know the Clippers are the stepchild, if you will.
Say it.
I know that. But still, it can be done. And then here's how you put yourself, if you're Kawhi Leonard, on legendary status. You went to Toronto, where a franchise had never won a championship. You got it done. The next year, you move on and you go to the LA Clippers, and you take a laughingstock of the NBA for the most part of its franchise history, and you elevate that team and win a championship back-to-back years with different teams and elevate those teams. You will reach legendary status. People will look at this guy and go, he's one of the greatest who ever did it. So that's what's there on the table for him. He comes back home to LA, right? And he also gets to outshine LeBron James right here in LA. It's all lined up.
That's what he wants.
No, it's all lined up for him. And you could take a look at it and go, man, how could it get any better than that? And the money would be there. Everything is there for him.
He'll leave $50 million in Toronto.
Huh?
He'll leave $50 million in Toronto.
That's all right, but you know what?
It's always all right when it's somebody else's money.
Well, of course, it's somebody else's money. But I just think his legendary status would go through the roof.
Well, for me, I think for him, if he were to win a regular season MVP, it would probably do as much, if not more, than another leading the Clippers to a championship, Skip, because you be in rarefied air. Only Michael Jordan can say, I've been a regular season MVP, a finals MVP, and a defensive player of the year. Akeem Olajuwon can say, I've been all three. And now Kawhi. Can you imagine with 2 finals MVP, 2 defensive players of the year, and a regular season MVP, Skip? That would put him in some of the Pantheon great category, and we'd start looking at Kawhi. We already starting to notice him in a different... You don't, because you said he shouldn't have been the finals MVP the first time he won it. It should have gone to Manu or Tim Duncan. Anybody other than him. Right. Yeah, that's what anybody other than him.
Did he lead that team in scoring?
Yeah, I ain't talking about that right now. I'm gonna give you.
Did he leading rebound? No, Tim Duncan did. I don't know.
I think I'm gonna say there's 60% chance he goes back to Toronto. For the simple fact is, he doesn't have to say we were close, we're contending, we won. They bring everybody back. I believe Marc Gasol will opt back in and pick up that player option. And the only guy that's a free agent is Danny Green. They can be good again. They can make another run at this, although, the team in the West.
Oh, now you got split allegiances, right?
No, I
can't root for the Raptors anymore.
No. I can still root for him.
Oh, you got 50 cases on purple and gold.
As long as you don't play, as long as they don't go up against that purple and gold. Yeah. But if you look at what they've done for him, they're giving him everything you've asked for, Rob. No back-to-backs. You need another game? Take it off.
He took off 22 games.
You want your girlfriend, your fiance, or whatever, you want her to travel? Okay, fine. You want to put up in her? He probably stays in the presidential suite on the road. You want your family and friends to have access? No problem. So they've given him everything that he's asked for, and he's delivered a title. I agree with you, Rob. I told Skip this. They shouldn't be mad if he were to leave because he came, he conquered, and did what he needed to do, dipped out. But doesn't matter. I mean, I think there's 60-40. He stays in Toronto, but it doesn't matter where you go. Go to L.A., get your head bust. Because no matter what.
You
the Clippers are. Look here. Are you the only child? You got a brother, sister?
I got 2 sisters.
Who's the oldest? You?
I'm the middle.
Okay.
I'm the middle boy.
So your oldest sister will always be big sis. No matter how tall you are, you're 6'4", you tower over, you still little brother her. Clippers still gonna be little brother to the Lakers. That's always gonna be the case, Skip Bayless.
I must say, this conversation is making me sick to my stomach.
I can imagine.
Oh, Kawhi getting all the love.
I had to just now watch again for about the 30th time him get the last laugh. Yep. Weird laugh that it was, but he got it.
You know what?
He got it.
We played on our radio show 10 times a day. Anytime somebody says something funny, that's that hot button.
Okay. So he did make fun of himself, so I appreciate that. And he has spoken more in the last 2 weeks than he spoke in 7 years in San Antonio, and that is no exaggeration.
No, it's
not. He might have spoken 10 times more in the last 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
He might have spoken more yesterday than he spoke in 7 years.
It's weird to hear him talk.
It's very weird.
I don't know his voice.
Good for him. He's coming out of his shell because they are crawling for him in Toronto. They are begging him by the minute to please stay. And you know what? Any man with some strong character with a strong backbone would say, I owe these people.
No, just stop and do that. You see what he